Welcome to Women Meet for Dinner, where conversations go deeper and truth has a place at the table. This is a space where women speak openly, sharing the moments that have shaped who they are, unfiltered, honest, and real. I'm your host, Dominique, and I invite you to pull up a seat. Today, on episode 3, we have Angelique as our guest. Angelique Mendez is a Latina leader living in Beaverton, Oregon. She currently works in retail brand marketing for Nike at World Headquarters. She earned her bachelor's degree from the University of Oregon and attained an internship at BBDO in New York City immediately after her graduation. Her experience spans from copywriting to providing Spanish translations to working with additional brands like Nestle, Dunkin' Donuts, Visa, and FedEx. Her academic and professional career has earned her high acclaim within her family and community by attracting female leaders alike to consult and partner on projects from media content creation to brand marketing consulting. Welcome, Angelique. Thank you so much for joining me today on Women Meet for Dinner. Honored to have you with us.
Hi, thank you so much for that amazing intro. I'm very excited to be here.
All right. I have to say, Angelique, you are not only inspiring, you hold so much power within you, not for what you have accomplished or what you are capable of, but because you hold a heart so big that can heal the world. And I can say that with 100% conviction. As I like to communicate with all guests, we want to hear the real shit, the raw truths. So, Angelique, are you ready to open up to strangers, to our audience, and to the world?
Oh, honey, we're just getting started.
Love it. Love it. So, let's do this. I just want to take a moment to honor your courage right now and let you know that I appreciate you sharing a part of your story today. We never know who needs to hear our trials and tribulations. All women need to know that they too can succeed in life, regardless of what life has thrown at them. Angelique, let's do this.
All right, let's go.
So, first, please let us know how you do it. How do you create balance in your life?
Well, how do I do it? I truly just find moments in my day where I can find a little bit of time for myself, really just whether it's going on a walk or watching my favorite show or reading a book or really doom scrolling on TikTok. I love just taking that time for myself, and it's been difficult because everything is just so busy and go, go, go. And it really is hard for me sometimes to take a moment to just take a beat. And I have to remind myself to do that because if not, I'll be caught up in the mess every single day. So, really just trying to find things that make me happy. And then I really look forward to my weekends and or times after work, whether it's just meeting up with friends or, calling my mom or someone in my family or my sister. So I try to find little moments where I can ground myself and balance life.
Balance is definitely key. So that's super important. And I'm glad you have found your rhythm. Can you let us know something unknown by people, whether it is how people perceive you that you would like to debunk today?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like there's quite a few things, but the first thing that definitely comes to mind is that I think people are very much intimidated by me and that I am very strong and that I have it all put together and that when really in actuality, I am very sensitive and I'm really not that intimidating. I think I just don't wear my heart on my sleeve right away. I think it takes a little bit of trust and, really getting to know the person so that I can like let you into my circle. But for the most part, I'm very outgoing and friendly and I love making new friends and accepting new people in. So, I think the one thing that I would want to debunk is just I'm not that intimidating. I'm actually a small little puppy dog.
That's sweet. Thank you. Are you also able to share a difficult moment in your life when you thought you wouldn't be able to make it through?
That is a great question. And I think, honestly, very hard question to answer for sure. But I think the most difficult moment in my life was really just, I mean, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I don't have a dad. He wasn't really around my whole entire life. So that gave me a little bit of childhood trauma and just trauma today. I mean, I think that there was moments in my life where I didn't think I was going to make it through. I think before, when I graduated high school and then going to college and then graduating college and then after college, I was kind of like, what am I going to do next? And I felt like I always had to keep doing something to keep myself busy, to in hopes that I was going to make a name for myself. But in actuality, I knew it was in me. I didn't really have to keep holding on to that difficult moment to continue to go and do these amazing things in my life when I can really just focus on myself and really focusing on like my future. And I think there was just multiple times where I um, reminded myself that I am the reason why I was able to do all these things that I accomplished in my life. It wasn't because of that difficult moment. So I think that was a constant reminder in my head where I was like, okay, in those times where I feel like I can't make it through, I can make it through because I did this for myself and I didn't have anyone else doing it for me.
Like you mentioned, it is tough, and it takes a special person to grow through that. And it also feels like you have to overcompensate because that parent is absent.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that also goes to that first question that you mentioned about the balance in my life and just really it was really tough just growing up with the single mom and not being able to have that sense of like balance. And then it goes back to your question now, to circling back about the difficult moment. But like, yeah, having one parent is really difficult because it almost puts a lot of pressure on yourself to, again, what's the next thing I'm going to accomplish and the next thing. So it's been difficult, but it's also just a good reminder to know that like, wow, I really did do this and I can continue to go, and it doesn't have to have this pressure that I put on myself. And again, it goes to that creating the balance and just really finding that balance in my everyday life.
It's also like it seems like you were also seeking extra validation because that other person wasn't there to help validate you growing up.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. We can get into the next question. What do you think is your biggest lesson?
I think, yeah, the biggest lesson that I took away from that is just really understanding like my strength and what I'm capable of, and that I don't need to have this pers- perspective of having like, this perfect family, like marriage and my mom and my dad together to have an amazing life. Like, I can do this by myself and really focus on all the things that I want in my life. And it also taught me, and my mom has always said to me, like, you really can do anything that you dream of. And that's truly something that I always think about every single day. It's almost like what is the saying of um, it's a cliche of like you can reach for the stars, but truly it is, you can have whatever you want in this life and you can go for it with hard work. And I mean, at the end of the day, we can do anything that we put our mind to. And so truly that is the biggest lesson that I took away from that.
And would you say that kind of helped you keep going?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like even when there's times where I've accomplished something, like when I graduated from college and I was like, oh my gosh, worried about my next step, it was kind of like, okay, like, well, my next step is like, I want to work at. And so, I didn't get there right away, but I, worked at BBDO and I did freelancing and copywriting and things like that. So it was like all those moments led up to the big moment. And I think perseverance is key. I say this over and over again, like you really got to hold on to that perseverance and you have to keep this going. Even when you feel like it's not falling into your lap right away, because all those moments are going to lead to that big moment. And so truly, again, if and I say this to everybody, but like if you feel like you're not where you need to be, or you feel like, why haven't I got it yet? I'm putting all this work in, like just be patient. It's going to happen. And you don't know, I always say this to people, but like, you don't know when it's going to happen. I can't tell you when it's going to happen, but it is going to happen, especially if you truly firmly believe into it. It's going to happen for you. So definitely just be patient and persevere.
And with that, it sounds like there's a lot of faith. You have to have that faith.
Yeah, yeah, I'd most definitely. I think you just have to also have faith in yourself, have faith in the people that are in your support system as well. I think that's a huge thing. I think community is big. If you didn't have faith in your community, or have those when people are very positive to you and they're like, you're doing great, and all of that helps. And I think also just I think the biggest thing for me personally was just having the faith in myself, because I can get really like, why isn't it happening? But really, truly, it's just knowing that my end goal will happen with time, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. And yeah, just holding on.
Great. Great. Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
What does that support system look like for you right now?
Oh, well, I have a lot of people that are really backing me up in a lot of different ways. I have my boyfriend Chris, and then I have my mom, and I have my sister, and I have my grandparents. And to be honest, like I know I mentioned me not having a dad. I have the best family, and I think I'm truly lucky and fortunate to have that. And every day I'm very grateful for that. It it just I can't imagine my life if I didn't have my family around me. And with my family and my boyfriend, I also have my friends. Like my boyfriend and my friends are maybe this is the Gemini in me, but I do have my family, and I'm like I feel like I'm a hermit and I'm in a shell, and I like love to be at home and cozy. But then when I'm with my friends, I feel like they like break this outgoing like shell of me, and I like to go and I'm out and I'm doing all these things, and I like to laugh. Like my friends make me laugh so much to the point where I'm like crying. And I just feel like I love having the both best of both worlds, to be honest. It's like I have this comfort from my family that keeps me, going. And then I have my friends that are just really know how to, get me out of that shell and like get me out to do fun things and do new things. So
Wow, that's great. It sounds like you're blessed and you have great people there to support you, which is great. Thank you.
yes, most definitely. I'm very thankful.
Awesome. Are you able to also quickly share your self-care, self-love routine?
Oh yes, I have a whole thing. I have a whole routine. I wake up and I drink a bunch of water. And then I go through my skincare routine. I've actually kind of have an amazing skincare routine right now, which I love. So I do my skincare, and then I'll go into the kitchen, take my supplements that I do every day. And then I always need a coffee, because I can't start my day without coffee. So always have a coffee before I do anything. And then yeah, I guess my self-care and self-love is like when it's sunny out, I try to go outside as much as I can, even if it's for 5 minutes or sitting on my patio and sitting in the sun. And yeah, I really try to focus on like my overall well-being during that time of day, like work and life is crazy. And so I really try to take a moment to just like chill if it's so crazy. Um, and I sometimes it's really just sitting on the couch and not being on a phone device and taking 5 minutes to myself. So it varies based off day to day, but usually that's what my day is. And then, nighttime routine is a whole completely different thing. But I unwind, by having dinner, do again my skincare routine, and then I love a good bed rot. I'll go in my bed, watch my Netflix, and tune out the world.
Absolutely. That's self-love for sure. That's important. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right, Angelique. Well, as we wrap up, the last question. Again, thank you so much for joining and for sharing your truths. Thank you again. Before we wrap, let's get to the last question. Is there any advice you can give to younger women just starting their lives as an adult? The Gen Alphas of the world or anyone really seeking support?
Yeah, I would say my biggest piece of advice is persevere and you really can do anything you put your mind to. Um, and try new things. I feel like that is one thing that I didn't do when I was younger, was try new things. I feel like I had opportunities to do it, but I never really took the risk really. And I feel like I see the Gen Alphas of the world now, and I feel like they are very bold and not afraid. And I would just say to them, like, continue going on that path and take more risk. And if it feels scary, just know that's because it's change and it's supposed to be uncomfortable. And I feel like I would also just say that, like, back to what I was saying at the beginning, is just truly reach for the stars. You do anything that you put your mind to and dream big, because you never know what you can do in this life.
Love it. Love it. Thank you again, Angelique, so much for your time today. And I really hope that this starts to ripple in the world and all of your words of wisdom will be heard.
Yeah, it's been so great chatting with you. And I'm just so happy that I was here. Thank you so much for bringing me on. And hopefully, we're just getting started. So maybe there's a part two or something.
Love it. Love it. Yes, sequel for sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here today and for honoring these stories at Women Meet for Dinner. The truth isn't always easy to tell, but it always matters. Keep owning your story, keep using your voice, and remember the power in speaking it out loud. If this conversation resonated with you, stay connected and follow along on the socials for more stories and conversations that continue beyond the table. Until next time.